Okay. Now, I know that Danny Phantom is not a anime, so this won't make sense to y'all. But I just remember something that just gave me a whole idea for this. So y'all gonna have to deal with it, okay? So, y'all know if you have watched Danny Phantom, or if you haven't, there's an episode where a goat or ghost guitarist, does some ghostly magic or whatever they be doing, whatever energy stuff they be using. She basically, you know, technically reveals how Danny feels for Sam. So y'all all know how that fight went, and yeah, after that, so time skip like a year, time skip a couple years. They're now Danny was 14 in the show, 2 years, and Danny's now 16. And he actually wants to come out and confess to Sam. So he do, and he does get turned down. Unfortunately, Danny gets turned down, and now I need to see. Now I just need to. Oh, if y'all don't know, this is gonna be how Danny's gonna look after such and such stuff happens. Danny basically, Danny goes to her house after uh, one day, and he knocks on the door, and Sam's parents answer. Uh, this is gonna be something for later, and and he goes to Sam's room, and start talking. He then confesses, and sadly, my boy Bob Boy, she ain't about to share the same love and respect for you, boy. So Sam, you know, Sam's instead of being like an actual friend and just saying that I don't like you in that way, so we can still be friends, but I just don't like you in that way. So Sam says no, which it shattered him a little bit because he'll be fine with it if it was just that what she said. Then Sam started going in on reasons why she don't like him and stuff that somebody does better than him and all that. And after she get done with that, yeah, me boy Bob, Danny just gets up and go home, and he goes to his room, and this is what he does. Uh, he literally just does this for like 6 months. He just stays right here in the same position with these same words echoing through his head. I don't exist. It's echoing and echoing through all his head forever and to keep on going for 6 months. And he he don't even leave his room to eat. He haven't ate in 6 months. I won't say this because of his ghost powers. He don't need to eat that much. So he just stayed in his room, locked it, no light can get in. And Jasmine and Tucker. Jasmine is his sister, I think that's her name. Jazz? Yeah, because he calls her Jazz in the show. So, Jasmine is worried along with Tucker because Tucker still didn't do any of this. Tucker is still gonna be his friend in this one. It's just Danny is not going to be in the right mindset for friends. Just to say that. So, one day he's just sitting in his room, still in this position. Like he hasn't moved out of this position for in the entire 6 months. He has been sitting like that. One day, Jazz uses one of their parents' things to break Danny's door down to see what he was doing, and when Jazz comes in and see him just sitting in his bed, curled up into the fetal position with a hoodie over his head, and his eyes. Let's see if I can find a good picture of what his eyes will look like. Cause, okay, let me pause them real quick. Yeah, so his eyes will look like these. I couldn't find a picture with just soulless eyes. So, we gotta deal with this. He won't look like the person in the picture. He'll just have, all gray. His whole his eye will look like his pupil will look like that. Will be almost nothing left in here, and nothing. Like you won't see no emotion from him. So now you can see his eyes are pretty much just soulless. Let's go back. You may find out what that's for later on, but. Oh, I lost my picture. No, I have not. Yeah. So, we're back with the story. Like I said. Let's get so so Jasmine walks in and his room is just completely dark. There's nothing in there. Nothing. And Jasmine Jasmine asks, Danny, are you okay? And Danny didn't say anything because he is broken. He don't want to ever speak again. So, she goes over again. She goes get closer to him to see if he was awake. And she looks into his soulless eyes. It scares her. Now she can see that her brother is gone. Her little brother is no longer there. Just a cruel, unhappy, soulless person. A shell. A shell. Just a shell. And she doesn't even want to be in that room with this. What she's in her head, she says She don't want to be in the same room with this thing. And now y'all may be wondering, okay, so you're just making, so y'all must be thinking, okay, you're just making Danny sad and probably gonna turn evil or something. Well, I'm about to, here's where I start changing things a bit. So, we all know Danny he was part ghost. But now, his entire soul and humanity is now no longer there. Oh, that came out of nowhere. So I must be wondering, what is he now? He now is a wraith. Now, a wraith is just a sort of a type of ghost. A ghost without a soul. Ghost that lost his soul. Soulless person, as you might say. But as a wraith, he feels no pain. He feels no happiness. He feels no anger. He feels nothing. And, you know, Danny actually decides to get up today. He decides to get up. Now let's find a picture of what he's going to look like. He's gonna look like this. And so now back to the story. And now Danny's got up, and instead of that being like obviously it's just a white mask, it's actually just bandages around his entire face. They just go under his hair. Well, not his entire face, like it's around his mouth and stuff, but it's not over his entire face. It's just around the mouth and on the back behind his ears type thing, right? And so Danny decides to go to school, and when he walks into the classroom, he gives off this aura of, I am dead inside. If you come near me, I'm probably gonna flame you, and I'm probably gonna get on your head with no sympathy given to you. So stay back, stay as far away from me as you can, type vibe. And he sits in his old desk. No, he don't sit in his old desk. He moves his desk. Cause I'm gonna say his desk was next to Sam and Tucker's, but he moved his desk to the very back, to the corner of that room, and not like the window seat type corner. He in like the corner with no windows, just just walls behind him, no left or right. And class proceeds on. Class proceeds on. After class, Dash, tries to pick on Danny. But like I said, Danny doesn't feel pain, doesn't feel hate, don't feel anything. So what he does is he grabs Dash by the neck and slams him through the wood locker and just choking him. And Danny ain't letting go. And then Dash's buddies try to help him, but then Danny just turns around and looks at them with the very intention of hurt, and they all just pass out. And then he started. gripping a little harder. And Dash is getting held like 5 feet off the ground right now, and just held up, choking. And then a crowd starts to come form around him, just choking Dash. And then it comes to when Sam, Jasmine, and Tucker finds this and just see. Well, Sam and Tucker don't know it's Danny. Jasmine do because she's seen him. And so Sam and Tucker are just like, they don't really care. But Jasmine is scared, afraid of what has happened to her little brother and what he's gonna become. And then Tucker and Sam look at Jasmine and seeing that she's disturbed by this, and then they ask her why, and then she says, that, that's that's Danny. And then when Tucker hears Danny, he immediately runs and tackles this man. He like, bruh, you okay, my guy? You okay, my guy? Are you okay, my guy? And he just like he is going for him. Like, man, he just tackled him, and he like, bruh, alright, you, oh, okay, just slapping the man across his face. And then he's just like it's not Danny's face ain't moving, his neck ain't turning, ain't budging. It's just Sam. This is not Sam. Just Tucker go, just mollywopping the crap out of him. And once he finished that, Danny says, "Are you done? And please get off me before I yeet you across this building." And Tucker's like, "What happened to you?" And he just gets up and he gets up, turns around and walks to Sam and asks him, "What the did you do to him?" And she like, "I didn't do nothing." And then she thinks for a moment, oh, oh, okay, I understand what happened. So Danny convinced me, and I compared him to someone else, and he left with and didn't say anything. We haven't seen him for 6 months. Jasmine is scared of him now. He is dead inside. I don't know what is going on, but I think he ain't human anymore. But he has to be. It's probably just his ghost side interacting with his sadness, making him aggressive, right? That's what she think. But what she don't know is happening. She killed off his human side. Now it's just ghost and Rafe side, with them two mixed in. This world about to catch a big right hook to a big kick to the nuts. And Danny, Danny has gotten up and just walked away by now. Dash is passed out, almost dead. And we might be like, where are the teachers and where's the principal? They are scared. They are scared for their lives, and they just sat in their they just stayed in their classrooms. They were scared for their lives, my guy. Because if y'all know, Dashi is like Jock. He's a football player. He's pretty big, and for him to get picked up by us, Danny is still skinny. He's just gotten taller, and being able to this man being able to pick up a Jock with one arm, lift him 5 feet off the ground, and could proceed to choke the man, get tackled, and gets repeatedly slapped by somebody without his face moving. They're scared. They want their lives. And that means don't mess with a man who obviously got an overpowered power boost of niggerishness. So, Tucker still talks to Danny, and Danny is just depressed and don't really care. Oh yeah, and Danny's ghost form has changed. Let me just pause and find a picture of what his ghost form is gonna look like now. So this is his ghost form, as I should call, well, his ghost wraith form. And this is in. Did I forget to mention this? He has 3 more farms, and I just need to go find them now. So we'll be back again in a couple minutes. Yeah, so this is his second form. He's Wraith King mode. And let's just go up here. His final form. Death himself. Yeah, so he basically just become death. And he does have 3 pets. You can see one in the picture. There's Shadowhawk. Next one is a Reaper from Ark. If you don't know what this thing is basically, this is what it looks like, and it's basically very poisonous, very quick, and very hard to find in the dark. Save image. And of course, you know I have to give it to show respect to my old name for the channel, which is the Dragon Sage. If y'all didn't know, if y'all not, now y'all know. And now we have the dragon that he will have command over. So I think that's the end of this video. So goodbye, goodbye, my players, and Zet the God is out. Bye. And do y'all like the intro?